Good evening. Let's try this again. I started a video and there were so many distractions that I had to quit. Nobody was watching yet, so I just deleted that one. Should have untangled the necklace before I started this one. It is Sunday evening at 8:30 and just about time to start getting ready for bed. So I know that's a strange time to be doing a makeup video, especially when you've got a full face of makeup. But that's okay because I'm not fixing to put on makeup. However, I realize that I have never done a video on the products that I use regularly. Hey, Deanna. I will make it short so I won't talk to you much. I'll check whatever you say later if you say anything. But anyway, I have never done a video on the products that I use. And so the reason I've never done a makeup tutorial putting on my makeup, well, there's several reasons. One very good one, low battery. I hope the battery doesn't die on me before I get done. But one very good reason is because I can't see. I mentioned that in video yesterday. And I do have my contacts in, but they're monovision, and I still have to use my trusty 7 power mirror to do my makeup. And so trying to do a video while doing this is, that's just not, this is a very well-worn makeup mirror. You can tell this is duct tape because the plastic coating on it died. It had a nice frame. That died a long time ago. So, I mean, it's been duct taped for years, but it's a good mirror, so I better not do that. It's going to flash up in my face. So anyway, so that I don't put on my makeup on camera. But I've got a full face of makeup, so I thought I would just tell you some of the products that I use. Now for my, I had a book. Now see there, I'm just not prepared. All those distractions really distracted me. And I had a book marked up with the pages that I was going to use. Y'all, I'm just so unprepared, aren't I? I probably carried that into the laundry room when I went to take care of two of those distractions. So I'm just going to flip in this book. Forget about the marked pages in the other. This is our Campaign 16 book. But I wanted to tell you first of all, for cleanser, I've been using the Reversalist cleanser mostly. And, I'm not even sure. That's if we've even got that one now. No, we don't. We have the new cleanser, which is what I will be using whenever my Reversalist runs out. I'll be using this new cleanser. It's a cream cleanser, and so it works really well for removing makeup. And we've got a platinum cleanser, and then we've got some basic cleansers, so I might get one of those when my Reversalist runs out. What I end up doing is using up any items that I've got in stock once they are discontinued. So that's why I'm using Reversalist, even though we're not selling Reversalist. That's until it's gone, I will use it. And a lot of the products that I'm using, some of them we don't have anymore because colors get discontinued, but I'll kind of just go over in general and tell you some recommendations of what we do have that I will be using, unless new products come out. You never know. New products might come out and I might switch. I know there's new mascara coming, so I know I'll be buying that one to try because I do like to try the different mascaras. Would you believe we've got 6 or 7 different mascaras? We've got mascaras for every type, situation that anybody's got. They want building, they want fibers, they want lengthening. There's 2 or 3 lengthenings. You want waterproof. You want wash-off waterproof, and I'll be talking more about that one in a minute. But anyway, I use that cleanser, and I like that the Ultimate Cleanser too. And then my skincare is usually the Ultimate line. This is our top-selling line, and so after I've cleansed my face in the mornings, I'm currently using the vitamin C serum. And then I would take the day cream of the Ultimate and just get a little and kind of, because I've already put the vitamin C on, I don't want too many heavy products on. And the vitamin C is for brightening and lightening, hopefully, some of the little dark spots that I've got. So then I would just kind of pat on my cream. and wait a few, and then kind of blend it around and wait a few minutes and let that sort of absorb, and then use a foundation, because I do use foundation. Some people have gorgeous skin. They don't need a foundation, but I do need one. I have my mama's skin, and so I have aging spots, I guess you would call them. Just different colors on my face. You can't see them too well, hopefully, because I do have my makeup on. But anyway, I used this morning this cashmere foundation, which I loved the cashmere foundation, but we don't carry it anymore. I'm just using up the last of my tube. I usually kind of use that on the days when I'm really wanting to look like for Sundays and such. And then every now and then I do use the Smooth Minerals foundation, but I really like the Smooth Minerals foundation for coverage, and I've been using this bronzer brush to put it on, because I think my Kabuki brush wore out. We've got great brushes, and I had been using that Kabuki brush for a long time, and I'm thinking that I finally had to let it go. And I haven't ordered another one, but I had that bronzer brush in my stock, so I got that out to use it. And it works pretty well for the mineral foundation. But I have older skin that's beginning to get some wrinkles and areas. And so I have found that the mineral makeup emphasizes those a little more. It gives me great coverage over spots, but it does seem to emphasize my wrinkles, and because my skin's drier now as I'm aged. I'm 60, soon to be 61. I'll be 61 in September, if I'm remembering my age right. Yes, is that right? I hope that's right. You do forget your age as you get older. Have to figure it out. But anyway, here are all our different brushes that we've got, and there's the Kabuki brush, which is great for putting on mineral makeup, and I'll talk about some of these others. The blush brush would be one I would use. That one is it's a bronzer brush. That's what I've got using right now, but I have an older blush brush. See, it's a gray one, but this is an Avon one that I've had for so many years, and it's just never worn out. So still using that one. Didn't have to buy one of the newer ones. But we have quite a variety. This one here, the eyebrow brush, is one I would highly recommend. It's got the wand on the end that is like, this is a brush we used to have that's got that wand type that's like a mascara wand. And then on the other end, it's got a smudger. I don't use that smudger much, but I use this end here for my brows, actually. And I've got another one similar that I use for separating my eyelashes, but I'm jumping ahead. So, after I've put on my foundation, and once this foundation is gone, I will be using the Flawless foundation, the True Color Flawless Liquid Foundation, and this is it here. And so I'll be ordering that, and you can see these are all the shades that's available in. So we do have a great variety of shades of all our different makeup, and well, all of it. I mean, you're going to find something, I think, that will match. On the Smooth Minerals, there's not quite as many shades, but that's one of those type products where you can mix 2 shades, and that will work out really well for you if you mix 2 shades of that. Now, when I've finished my foundation, if I haven't used the mineral one, I will use the translucent powder. This is almost empty, but the translucent powder doesn't have a color to it, and so you can use it on any, but we do have other shades, if you want a shaded powder that you can get, and so I'm just using that translucent one because that works really well for me. And then this is a product we don't carry anymore. This is the cover up in the Smooth Minerals, and I love this stuff. The concealer, I love it. We don't carry it anymore, but I've still got plenty, so I'm still using it. I would say that probably the lightest shade of the mineral makeup, there is a translucent in it, but probably, well, for me, the lightest shade, not the translucent maybe, but the light in this the translucent might work, I just haven't tried it, would work for a concealer too. And so I would say if you're using Smooth Minerals foundation any time you want to, a concealer, maybe just go get the lighter shade, the next lighter shade, and use it. Or one of our other concealers, because we've got several different concealers. We've got a stick concealer, we've got a wand concealer, and we even have a cream concealer. So here's the different concealers here. And but I just use a touch of that with a little brush and to cover like one spot here and one here on the eyebrow. This is on the eyelid. I have a dark spot right on my eyelid that I like to cover up because I always feel like if I don't get that covered good, people are going to think she's messed up on her eyeshadow. She needs to fix that. But if they saw me a bunch of times, I guess they'd figure out it was just a spot on my eye, almost like a freckle, but it's an age spot on my eyelid. So one of those little flaws that we don't like and like to cover up. Okay, so once I've done that, generally, I've used my translucent powder. I'll go back over with my big powder brush, just to make sure that's all blended well. And then generally I'll do my eyebrows next. Now I have very sparse eyebrows. I'm going to be using a new product that we've got coming out. It's going to show up in campaign 18, I think. And I've already got some. And I've used it. This will be my third day to use that. And it's for the eyelashes. But they found it also works for the eyebrows. And so now it says eyelash and eyebrow to help them grow. And so I'll be reporting on that to see whether that helps. It's going to take a while, of course, for it to work. But it's got some good stuff in it that should help that. And so I'm using that on my brows too to try to help them. But I always do I was at a party for another skincare company probably 40 years ago. No, not that long. Well, yeah, 40 years ago. And I learned from them that the eyebrows frame the face. And so from that point on, I started making sure I groomed my eyebrows well. And so through the years, I've had to start coloring them in a little because they're very light. Right now, what I'm using for my eyebrows is actually eyeshadow, because I had this palette, and you see it's almost empty. But that dark brown, that was just too dark for an eyeshadow, and I ran out of whatever I was using. Probably was Glimmer Sticks brow liner, because we've got, I think, 4 shades of the Glimmer Sticks brow liner. And when that ran out, I was like, I've got all that dark powder. Let me just use some of that. And it worked, so it's lasted me a long time. So I just get my little brush here, and it's kind of angled brush. I think this is an eyeliner brush, actually. Put that in there and, just kind of color those in. But then I don't like it too dark. Don't want it to look too unnatural. So then I go back over and blend that out with the brush here. But if I didn't do those eyebrows, I just really wouldn't have eyebrows. So I'll go back to the Glimmer Sticks brow liner, or else we have another brow kit that I may give a try too. Let me see if I see it in here. Don't know if I'm going to see that right off, and I don't want to spend too much time hunting. But yeah, I may go with that once. Here it is. Okay. There is the brow kit that we've got, and it had, well, where'd it go? There it is. The brow kit comes in 4 shades, and it's a powder that you put on with a brush, and then there's a wax that you could put on to set it. So may give that a try. I've sold several of those. That's called the True Color Perfect Eyebrow Styling Duo, and comes in blonde, soft brown, auburn, and deep brown. Okay, so then once I've done the brows, a lot of times on videos you will show people when they put their eyeshadow on and then they put the liner on. That has just never really worked for me, so I go with my eyeliner first. And I don't do liquids. I use an eyeliner brush, a stick, glimmer stick. I'm still using one of the sharpened kind, like that we don't carry right now. we do have kohl eyeliner that's a sharpen, and the Super Shock eyeliner that you sharpen. And sometimes I do use one or the other of those that I'll just switch out whatever I happen to grab on the eyeliner and whatever. But I like a stick eyeliner. I had just never become proficient at using the liquid, so I will use that. And it goes on better for me if I use it first, and I don't feel like I'm stretching my eyelids that way. And if you've not been using a liner, the best way to do that, let me see if I can get one out. I've got all kinds over here. Let's see. The best way is just to make little short strokes along your lid. I can't even come up with one right now, even though I know there's a bunch in here. So, let's see, I'm not prepared. There's a Super Shock. I think that's a blue I ended up with. I don't use that one very often. But yeah, just take the liner and make kind of little strokes going along, you know, connecting them as you go. You don't just take it and do a long pull. Just little strokes and connecting them with these pencil types. Liquids, of course, are going to be different. You know, you're going to probably do more of a long stroke with that. But once I've done that on the top lid, I will go right ahead and take my eyeshadow brush, excuse me. This is one of our eyeshadow brushes. And I'll take a light shade of, there's like an eye duo. This one looks a little different than what's in the book now because it's one that I've had a little while since before they changed them. And I know y'all going to say, don't you throw away all your stuff on the schedule? But I use it until I feel like it needs to be thrown away. What is that? Don't do what I say. Or don't do what I do what I say. Because, you know, you'll see these schedules of how often you should throw things away, and I'm not always dedicated to that. Okay, so here are the different eyeshadow duos that we've got. But we also have these quads. And I'm currently using, you know, this, not the darkest that I'm using on my brows, but the other that's almost all gone as a third color. So I will use these two in my little palette as this one to go over the lid up through into the crease, and then I'll take the lighter shade and highlight under the eyelid on the brow, and then take my medium shade here and do a my brush here, do kind of a V here and all the way through the crease, okay? And so that's a little darker there in the crease, and of course you want to be blending that out. So you can go with just 2 shades, but that's what I do with 3. And then I will take, once I've, you know, put that liner on and done that on both the upper lids, then I will take my liner and go just under here about 3/4 of the way in, 2/3 to 3/4, about 2/3 of the way in. I don't do the entire under here, you know, to like what they call raccoon eyes. I don't get it all the way around, just kind of leave it open right in here. And once I've done the bottom, then I take the fine end of my little brush here. This has got a little bit of a end on it, and take that third shade that I've used in the, you know, that I'm using the crease up here, and go under that to just kind of, I don't like a bold eyeliner. And so I do that. It kind of tones it down. Plus it sets it to where when I'm blinking the eyeliner, because you can see I've got kind of hooded lids, and especially the one over here is more hooded. And so if I don't set that with the powder, after, you know, put the liner on, then put the powder, sometimes when I blink, it will transfer some of the liner up on my lid, which I don't want, of course. So that's the way I do the eyes, and I see my battery is getting lower and lower, so I'll quickly go over the blush, because that's about it. I do the, I'm using this one right now. This is Antique Rose, which we do still carry, and I'll take that. I haven't really been doing any contouring lately. You know, that's something you can get into, but I kind of use this blush as a contour. You can see I've got a little bit darker here and over here. And then I will take my Candlelight, which is a light shade, you see there, and just take that and come down on this top of the bone. And of course, then you can just blend it around, you know, make sure that doesn't look too heavy. And whatever a little bit might be left on here. By the way, when you get your powder out, give it a tap here or over garbage or whatever, you know, so you don't have too much to start with. That works best. And especially like when you're using your Smooth Minerals, you would tap the Smooth Minerals foundation onto your brush and then tap off the excess so that it doesn't, you know, do a heavy right in one spot. So so that's with a blush. Then any little tiny, there might be just the tiniest little bit left on here, and so then I would go over my forehead just quickly across the top, maybe a little there, and hit the end of the nose, because those are like the areas where it looks like the sun has come and just giving you a little bit of a tiny bit of color. Then I might take my big old powder brush and just go back over it like this. Just make sure everything's blended out a little bit so it's not too heavy. Every now and then I feel like I've got my blush too heavy, and it might be today, but anyway. I'm wearing my very colorful, I'll stand up. I've got my, they were brighter earlier actually, the lips. I had grabbed Tangerine sample before church tonight and put it on really fast as I was heading out the door, and I was like, whoa, when I saw myself later. I thought that's a little bright, but it was okay because I'm wearing my bright, I had to put my leg up there. There we go. My bright skirt, my tropical print that is in the brochure right now, or has been. I guess it's still in there. It won't be for long. It may not even be in the current one, but because we switch out our clothes pretty frequently, and this is the t-shirt from the summer line too. Okay. Lips usually don't get done till later when I'm about to head out after I'm totally ready. It's usually about the last thing I do before I head out the door because I'm always drinking water, you know, that kind of stuff. So is use a lip liner, and I do use Glimmer 6 lip liners. I use lip liner almost all the time because, like I say, as you're getting older, you get those lines, you know, and lipstick wants to bleed. Lip liner will keep it in control. And a lot of times this is not a lip liner, but I'll put the lip liner on and color in on my lips, and then put on my lipstick. And I use Simply Spice is my favorite of the Glimmer Sticks lip liners, but I'll use whatever matches. Like today I had Coral. I'm not sure if we still have Coral, but I had Coral. I know I forgot my mascara. I do put mascara on in there. Currently I've been using Winged Out. And then I use Wash Off Waterproof on the bottom lashes, because Wash Off Waterproof, I have found, does not smudge at all. There's others that don't too, but for me, I have just been using that for years. It's been around for more than 20 years. And I just know that one will not smudge onto my lower lid. This eye in particular, I don't know if this is that squinchier eye. And that one wants to smudge if sometimes I use something else. But I know that Wash Off Waterproof is not the only one that doesn't smudge, but I know that one works for me. So it's I think you can usually get it for $4.99, and it's our longest selling mascara. It's been around as others have come and gone, because like I said, we've got a lot of mascaras, and we've got another new one coming out. And some of them come in, go out. This is the Winged Out here. And there's Wash Off Waterproof. So Winged Out is supposed to make your lashes. It's one of the extending types. So it will help, make your lashes longer. And Wash Off Waterproof is great because it's waterproof, but it washes off with a cleanser or soap and water, whatever. You don't have to have a really special cleaner to, you know, heavy duty cleanser to get that off. It comes off pretty easily, so love that stuff. And I will usually, you know, after I put my mascara on, I might put 2 to 3. I always put at least 2 coats on my top lashes, and I've been putting 3 on right now. I'm probably going to go back to using, after I try this new one, if I like it, I'll stick with it. If not, I'll go back to Big and False Lash, because I think I really liked that one, and still always using Wash Off Waterproof on the lower lashes, because I like that. And whatever lipsticks I want to use, so like I said, Simply Spice Brick Red is another one of my favorite liners for wintertime especially, or the month of July when you're wearing reds or anything like that. And that's about it for me on how I do my makeup. Y'all have a good night.